Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? It's been a very, very busy 24 hours for the regulars at the snack bar. So busy, in fact, that I'm going to have to cram multiple stories into one video because I just can't keep up with these voracious, rapacious, religious zealots. They've been a busy lot of boys. So we're going to cover 3 stories today. Fortunately, I don't charge by the pound. First up is this ridiculously tame piece by the BBC talking down massive gangs of violent snack bar thugs attacking the local police. Most of them were young, though, so we'll just call them thuglets, shall we? Right, I'm sure you all saw the footage of this on X. Obviously, you can't show any of the actual good stuff on YouTube. I'll put a couple of links in the comments for you, though. Needless to say, there was a massive gang of aggressive, low IQ inbreds throwing fireworks at the police and genuinely acting as if they own the place because, as you all know, in Burmalabad, they do. As you might expect, the numbers were trifling. Trifling numbers, considering it was an entire night of violent disorder, with 4 teenagers and 21 people in total being arrested after they were attacking the police. The arrests, all on suspicion of violent disorder, were made in the Dale End and Stanisford Street areas on Wednesday evening, West Midlands Police said. The force seized weapons, obviously, because this time there was no police community support officers around to tell them, remember lads, just go and hide them in the local Bell End church. Then it's totally fine for you to have AK-47s and hand grenades, because we'll just keep that between us, shall we? Cheers then. The police said there was a bit of disorder and nobody had been seriously hurt. Some nice, mostly fiery but peaceful protest vibes coming from this BBC story. And they said they arrested 21 people. Yes, so you all saw that. That was a message to anyone left, anyone daft enough or poor enough left, who isn't a regular at the aforementioned snack bar. What they were basically saying there was, we own you now. This is our city. This is going to be the capital of Eurabia, or soon to be the Caliphate of Europe. And it's quite apt that it's going to be Birmingham, isn't it? Birmingham is perfect for a European, hot-bellied, epileptic desert dwarf superstate because at least it's already got a title and it sounds slightly better, doesn't it? Capital of Europe sounds better than Armpit of Europe, which is what Birmingham is now. The second big story, I'm sure you've all read about it, so I won't cover it at great length, but ever since the election of Mr. Mamdani, the brain-dead, work-shy theocrat who's suddenly been given power in New York City because women under the age of 40 seemingly are turkeys voting for Christmas. Amazingly, 80% of them opted for the bloke who will have them chained to the sink, gobbling a pensioner shortly before he goes off to see/beat his 2nd, 3rd or 4th wives. Anyway, the gloves are off. They know they're in charge. The bit is between their teeth. So they now feel confident making an angry mob in the middle of Manhattan and saying this in front of TV cameras.
This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be a part of. Islam, and we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
Not impressed with the subtitles at the end there. What, you mean you couldn't translate the incoherent gibberish of a desert fanatic? That's weird, isn't it? Clearly AI is not up to much these days. They're all singing its praises, but it couldn't translate that into perfect English. Weird. Anyway, that's a fantastic video. That's a fantastic video. It shows 2 things. It shows, first of all, it's a nice, loud, open statement of intent from the fanatics that want to take over the world and then rule it with an iron fist. And secondly, it gave me not a rage boner, but a joy boner, because I'll tell you what, it's a rare occasion that I get one of them these days. But I can't wait, lads. I cannot wait. America, unlike the United Kingdom, the famously cooked, embarrassingly pathetic, snivelling United Kingdom, whereby an imported follower of the religion of many, many pieces ends the lives of children. And the government, the very next day, say, oh, you know what the real problem is? Criticising the regulars at the snack bar. That's the problem. No, the dead kids on the street, the blood's not dry. That's not a problem. No. Lee Rigby getting an unscheduled medical procedure in the middle of London, that's not a problem. Exploding buses and trains and dead babies, that's not a problem. You know what the real problem is? People sometimes say mean things about the people that blew up the trains and the buses and do the decapitations. That's the real problem in the United Kingdom. But here, God bless America, you know what the real problem is? The real problem is going to be getting between a few million regulars at the snack bar and the 200 million Americans who, like me, have 4 or 5 firearms in the house and enough ammunition to take out a Chinese battalion. The real problem is going to be getting between them. Because if you think 10 million rednecks are quaking in the boots when a bunch of scrawny, sparrow-boned imports start threatening going into every single house in America, you are on a different planet. That doesn't faze people that are heavily armed and practice every day. Definitely not. I pray for the day we get a sizable community of the regulars in my neighborhood. Obviously, I live in a middle-class white area, so there's hardly any of them, obviously. But I live for the day they try and come into my front room. If you've got any sense in the UK, you've took my advice and got yourself whatever legal weaponry you can. But I don't need to worry about having like a semi-automatic crossbow. I've got an AR-15 with a laser sight. It's well oiled, and I'm absolutely desperate to use it in anger. So please, lads, please, come to my house and forcibly convert me. I'm begging you. And the third story is, as you might expect, due to the fact globalist sociopaths are ruling the world with an iron fist and they all sing off the exact same hymn sheet, a man shouting loudly about Alan's marvellous snack bar ploughed into a group of 10 people, critically injuring several of them, in a flaming car filled with gas canisters. And the French police said it is definitely not being treated as a terror incident. Yeah, you couldn't make that up, could you? You couldn't make it up. It's definitely not a terror incident when a bloke who follows the religion that generally is beloved by the terrorists all over the world leaps into a car filled with gas canisters, mounts the pavement, and mallets a dozen people, right? Apparently, that's definitely not a terror incident. Definitely not. Clearly, he had a personal vendetta against 12 to 14 people, right? And then, by some mad coincidence, as he was out, he just went out to get some ice cream. He's seen them all of them, together in a big group. What's the chance of that happening? What's the chance? And he was just driving back from B&Q, so he had some gas canisters in there, and he was also hungry, so he was on his way to the snack bar, and all of those things just became a confluence of peculiar coincidences. So obviously he mounted the pavement and tried to murder them all, but it definitely wasn't terrorism. No. Easy to understand if you've got a head full of horse shit. So that's the news. That's the news. It's been a mad 24 hours, hasn't it? If you don't like reading the news or thinking, I'll sum up briefly of all 3 points, right? What you should learn from this. 1, don't go anywhere near Birmingham. Don't go anywhere near it. Definitely not tonight while the football's on. Preferably not for the rest of your life, because it's already the armpit of England and it will soon be the beating heart of the European caliphate. So definitely don't go there. And if you live there, move. All right? Secondly, the snack bar boys are trying to take over in America. They're out in the open shrieking about it incoherently with their ugly, guttural, grunting language. And I live for that. That's why it's great to be an American. I can't wait for them to get started. And finally, if a bloke fills his car with gas canisters, shrieks to the skies, to the desert god, and then floors it on a pavement and tries to murder a massive group of perfect strangers, it's definitely not terrorism as long as you're a regular at Alan's marvellous snack bar. You're just doing an ad campaign, a flash ad campaign, and you happen to have explosives in your car. Everyone knows this happens, which is why Axel Rudu Kanubu, who had an AQ training manual in his house, was making rice in and targeted 8-year-old girls, that wasn't terrorism either. No, definitely not. But when a bloke puts a few stickers on some lampposts in England, that is terrorism. So you need to send him to prison for many years. Yeah, makes loads of sense, doesn't it? Easy. You don't need me to explain this to you. Just watch the BBC and they'll sum it all up neatly. That's today's news, ladies and gents. I'll put some links down there for you to have a look at the footage for yourself. It's unbelievable. The BBC minimising what went on in Birmingham is just ridiculous. And so, yeah, go and have a look for yourself. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.